the EPA is going to force diesel engine makers to finally tell the truth about their DEF systems, their diesel exhaust fluid systems. Are they terrible? Are they awful? Do they fail all the time? What is the truth? Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus if you talk. Got breaking news for you. It's on our website, pickuptrucktalk.com, and pull it for you. I did a video a few minutes ago. If you listen to the video, I had some bad audio issues. So this is the new video because this isn't too important to have audio issues and things. This is a big deal. I've been trying for years to get to the bottom of this. I've said for years now, if these systems were reliable, I wouldn't be talking about this. We're finally getting the details, and EPA is going to force them by law to give them the data. So let's get to this. I'll put a link in the description down below. I'll put a link in the comments because I want you guys to know about this. I want you guys to know as well. If you click on this tab, you'll see it on the news on the website. You see emission changes. I'm putting all the EPA stuff I talked about last year and this year under this tab. Emission changes, all diesel regulations, everything Trump EPA has done to roll back or actually not roll back emissions rules. Let's get all the facts together. So here's the story. The EPA is ramping its pressure on engine makers to fix diesel exhaust fluid systems or remove DEF completely, depending on how they can meet the 2027 emissions rules. We're going to get to that. I know you might be excited. Hold the comments. We'll get to this information. They've said it's disrupting trucking, heavy equipment operations nationwide. They're demanding data. So what are they talking about? So EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin has this quote. He says he has traveled all 50 states during his first year as EPA Administrator. He heard from truck drivers, farmers, many other people in the industry, and he's heard them complain and pleaded with the EPA for a fix. He says the EPA understands this is a massive issue, which is why we've already established common sense guidance for manufacturers to update their DEF systems. I'll get to what that is. And he said in the press release, which here it is. It's on EPA.gov. I'm not BSing you right here. I just translated it into verbiage so we can understand. Today, we are furthering that work and demanding detailed data to hold manufacturers accountable for the continued system failures. The Trump EPA is committed to ending unnecessary frustrations and days lost on the road and in the field for American farmers and truckers. So let's break this down. So first of all, the latest action builds on the August 2025 EPA guidance. So what was that? Oh, I guess I got to show you on the screen. I'm sorry, I didn't do that quite right. Let me do the better way to do this. So I'm going to share my whole tab, my whole window. But yes, this is the document EPA.gov. Like I said, I wasn't BSing you. That document does exist. Okay, that's what he's talking about. This is that rule. What I'm sharing with you now is going to be this document here. This is the DEF fix. Remember, I talked about this last August. That was in a video. So that was when they extended the time when you could get the DEF fluid warning light, give you more miles, so your tractor didn't break down in the field because it ran out of DEF fluid. That was guidance, and there's a difference here. It's a very distinctive difference here. The EPA cannot force engine manufacturers to change that time frame for the engine to run without diesel exhaust fluid. They can ask them to. So it's difference. Where they can force them in a little bit, I'll get that difference. So they ask them to reverse automatic engine deregulation, derates. Derates in that the engine doesn't perform like it did when it had diesel exhaust fluid. It may have less horsepower, less torque. It may have the worst fuel economy. You may have to pull over because you can't drive as fast because it doesn't have diesel exhaust fluid. So the warning light pops on. The screen says 200 miles till empty, whatever. So it gives you more time to get diesel exhaust fluid. That's what they ask the engine manufacturers to do. Extend that derating period. Okay. So it's designed to prevent abrupt shutdowns and give operators more time to address faults without compromising safety, because they see it as a safety issue, right? Which makes sense. Driving along, you're in the middle of nowhere, you run out of DEF, now you're reduced speed, reduced horsepower, maybe you're lose torque, you're towing 30,000 pounds, whatever, it's an issue. So what they're doing today, though, is they're using its authority under Section 208A of the Clean Air Act. The EPA is requiring the 14 largest on-road, non-road diesel engine manufacturers, which together account for more than 80% of DEF system usage, to submit data on warranty claims, failure rates, and repair records. The request covers emission control systems for model years 2016, 2019, and 2023. Really interesting. So, 3 different subsets of time for warranty claims, failure rates, and repair records is determined, and they want to determine whether failures are tied to specific generations of components or designs. So, did basically what they're saying is, look, send us data from these 3 different time periods because we want to know, are you guys improving the systems? Are they getting better? Are they getting worse? Are the components getting better? Did you make design changes that are making things worse? What's going on? Manufacturers have 30 days to respond, with non-compliance potentially leading to additional inquiries or penalties. Give us your data, we're going to find your butt. That's going to force things can happen. So they have legal authority to ask those questions. I don't have legal authority. I've asked those questions for years. I love this. I'd love to get this data. So beyond enforcement, the EPA is also pointing to broader regulatory changes aimed at reducing economic impacts on rural operators. So this is really interesting. And I've been following the story for about last year now. The agency has proposed updates to the 2027 model year engines that significantly alter how vehicles respond when DEF levels run low. That's more operating time, higher power levels. We talked about that as well. But the biggest deal is with these 2022 heavy duty engine and vehicle NOx rule. This is a big deal for fleet operators, semi trucks, non-road heavy duty diesels, machinery, that kind of stuff. So this is, I think, it's going to filter down to different types of trucks as well. This does not impact what I consider in my world, my purview, heavy duty trucks. And let me explain what I mean with that. Ford F-250, 350, Ram 2500, 3500, Chevy or GMC 2500, 3500s. We consider those heavy duties. So we have light duty, which is F-150, F-150s, Chevy 1500, Ram 1500, Toyota Tundra. Then we have the heavy duties. Then we have medium duty. I know it's confusing. I know it should go light duty, medium duty, heavy duty. It doesn't. And then you have another way you look at this. There's different classifications. Some people consider all that light duty, then they consider heavy duty the 4500, 3500, or 4500, 5500, 6500. So depends how you look at it. But this rule here is for the new heavy duty engine and vehicle standards. That is for 4500 and up, including semi trucks, delivery trucks, garbage trucks, on-road machinery, non-on-road, and it's aimed at specifically reducing NOx gases and other pollutants, so smog, basically smog gases, starting model year 2027. It mandates up to 80% reduction in smog gases for horsepower per mile, depending on how you classify these things. This is a very simplified summary. There's actually a longer list of this stuff. I've written about this many different times. And it goes by different classification of vehicles and things. Now, this controls so 2 things. So it controls how much smog is going out per mile, which is NOx gases and things. And then it also talks about useful life and warranty periods going from, I think it was like 300,000 to 650,000 miles. So the big deal with this is the extension of the useful life and warranty periods. Now, I first thought this was great, right? So if the systems are very unreliable, then make the warranty periods last longer. That way the manufacturer has to cover that. That'd be great for the consumer. But the consumers of these, the big fleet owners, are very concerned about this because they feel like this is going to increase the cost of these vehicles that they buy. So, for example, say a Kenworth semi now would cost between 5 to 20% more, and you got to buy 50 of these things a year or 500 of these things a year. Now your costs go up higher, which means you transport those costs to the end use customer, which means all these costs go up. That was the big concern. So I'm hearing from my sources that the EPA is considering dropping new rules starting like August or April about rolling back some of these changes. We don't know yet if they're going to roll back the NOx gases emissions or the useful life rule. The question is, could they do both? Lee Zeldin in this document here talked about, maybe we could roll back both and would reduce the need for DEF. They don't know if they get rid of DEF completely. They don't know if they can meet this 2027 rule. Why? Why can't you just get rid of all of it? That's the first comment. I did this video and I had the bad audio. First comment was get rid of all of it. Well, the EPA is still mandated by law because Supreme Court ruling I reported on a long time ago in different videos, which again, you go to news and look at this stuff, that they have an emphasis that they protect air quality and public health, central to the agency's mission. So it seeks to reduce system failures that disrupt real-world operations in the field and on road, real-world operations in the field and on road. But this is the battle. The battle is this. You have rural communities like where I live, rural operators who have clean air outside because we don't live in smog and NOx gas, polluted cities. So we don't have a problem with air quality, and public health is not an issue, right? Because citizens aren't standing around these big diesel trucks all day long, right? It's not a big issue. Versus cities where you have a lot more people, a lot more public health concerns, which is where emissions started from in the 1990s. And you have this battle going on between these two groups of people. And trust me, I get it. I live in a very rural area that's away from major cities, and we're always complaining here in Nebraska about the Omaha and Lincoln folks, the city folks, who don't understand the rural area out here. So I get the battle. So the EPA is trying to do both. They're trying to figure out how they can make both groups happy, which is pretty much impossible. But if you are a diesel truck owner, this is very interesting news because their EPA is going to hold these engine manufacturers accountable and say, hey, are these systems as bad as people have said online? And if they are, why aren't you doing a better job making them better? Where's the proof? Where's the data? What's going on? And they're also saying, do we even need these systems to meet our needs? Is it just more government overreach? Do we even need DEF? Do we need diarrhea shooting in the exhaust systems to meet the NOx needs? So they're looking at that. And what's going to be the conclusion? Will we ever see the data? Likely not. But we may know the outcome come March and April. Because if they get rid of the DEF completely, that kind of tells you what they found out, right? So that 2022 final rule, when they adjust that, will be very interesting to know. So I'm keeping tabs on it. You can keep tabs on more videos on this channel by clicking up over here or go to the website, pickuptrucktalk.com. Again, that tab from the emissions rules. I'm going to keep that tab updated. I'm going to keep the stories going in that. So every time I get a new story, it'll be over there. You send the newsletter too. Yeah. Information on there all the time. Every Friday goes out. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.